All right, YouTube, what is going on? It is Zaya here from Zaya&TheSteelers back with another video. And in today's video, we are going to be making some bold predictions for the Steelers 2024-2025 NFL season. So if you guys are Steelers fans or you enjoy NFL content in general, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Shout out to the people who have subscribed already. And shout out to the future subscribers, man. Also, let's get a shout out to the members. If you guys would like to support me and this channel more, be sure to hit that join button in the description below. And let's get one more shout out for all of you guys, because as of today, we have hit 800 subscribers, man. We are so close to that 1,000 goal. And it's just like, it's becoming so real to me that like, eventually I'm going to have to push this goal. We've been on the road to 1,000 for a little bit. We were on the road to 500 for a while. Like, it's just honestly, every subscriber I get, it's a blessing. I love talking about the Steelers. I miss talking about the Steelers, and that's why we're here today. Also, though, this video is somewhat special to me because I made the same video last year. And I even recapped this video last year, like bold prediction before the season starts. And then as it ended, I like went back and watched it, right? And I got some right, I got some wrong. It is what it is. But I pulled this up just to kind of like remember what it was, like remember how I did it. And something cool, something very humbling. I don't know if you guys can see it. Oh my goodness, this will never change. Literally, this will never get fixed ever. But I don't know if you guys can see it, but down below here, I'm gonna like let this play so the play bar goes away. You can see I'm at 129 subscribers in this video, and like here we are with 800. Once again, guys, I can't thank you guys enough, man. Like it brings me so much happiness. Like I absolutely love doing this, man. I really do. So once again, thank you to you guys, and let's dive into it. So I have another notepad up. I have it titled "Big 2024 Steelers Bold Takes." And we're going to start it off maybe kind of hot, maybe kind of not hot. We got Broderick Jones on the screen. Why do we have Broderick Jones on the screen? One, because Broderick Jones has been kind of taking it in the media for a little bit. We've been freeze framing him. We've been singling him out in like these like single play things where he's not looking the best. But granted, he is at the wrong position. For how many games has Broderick Jones been at the wrong position? Too many games. That's the answer, right? So for too many games, Broderick Jones has been in the wrong position. And because he's been in the wrong position, because like maybe his footwork isn't the best, because maybe he's like still kind of raw, he's just getting absolutely dunked on. And like, we know how Steelers fans can get. I know how Steelers fans can get. We turn good players into enemies really fast. We have a tendency to do that. And I don't want Broderick Jones to be singled out in this, although here I am singling him out. But the main point of this all is I believe our offensive line will be legit, right? And so I'm going to start this off with Steelers O-line will be top 5 at least. I believe we're going to have a top 5 offensive line, right? And how do you measure that? I'm not exactly sure. I don't know if it's like with rushing yards per game or like time per game or you know what. But at one point when we had the Killer Bees, our whole offensive line was in the Pro Bowl. I believe we can have that same kind of thing happen today. And it starts with Broderick Jones kind of getting his shit together, man. Broderick Jones, who obviously, if you guys don't know, we took him last year, pick 14. We were at 17. We traded up for Broderick Jones. We took him last year to be our left tackle. And something, Dan Moore just cannot play the right side, so Broderick Jones is forced to play the right side. And then we get an actual right tackle, and the actual right tackle gets kind of hurt in the preseason. That's Troy Fautanu. And so Broderick Jones then again has to go back to the right side so Dan Moore can continue to play the left side. It's just nonsense. Honestly, it's just nonsense. I'm sitting here explaining it. It's pretty dumb that we won't put Dan Moore over on the right side, but for whatever reason, it's just not allowed to happen. And in that same time, too, man, not too much on Dan Moore, but I thought he had a pretty good preseason, man. Dan Moore, like just the ultimate villain, the ultimate boss, the final boss. You just can't get past him. It is what it is. But I think once Troy Fautanu comes back, once he comes back on that right side, and we can move Broderick Jones over to the left side, I believe Broderick Jones is going to be fine. Like, really, the only one who I think is going like the hardest about it is, you know, friend of the show, Big Andrew Filipponi. I think Andrew Filipponi is like solely responsible for all of the slander and negative takes about Broderick Jones because he's just been going in on the guy. And so, like, you know, I get it. That right side, some of these plays look really bad. Like, we're just seeing Broderick get kind of mauled. It looks really bad, right? I get it. But he's at the wrong position. He's still young. There's still a lot of time. We're playing. What do we want to call it? We're putting him in. We're taking him out. We're putting him in. We're taking him out. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not giving him the best approach to this all. And at the same time, too, we've shuffled through 9 different quarterbacks in the last 2 seasons. We had Mason, Mitch, Kenny, Russ, Justin Fields. That's at least 5 that have like played legit minutes for us. And like, I know he's not the center, but you know what I'm saying? It's different. You know, like this isn't just been like, here you go. Here's your left side. Here's your perfect position. Here's the perfect situation. Here's the perfect quarterback that we're going to continue with. And at the same time, too, our offense has been fucking ass. Our offense has been horrible. And so, like, you know, they're allowed to crowd the line. They're allowed to do this. They're allowed to do that. And so it just hasn't been, you know, perfectly perfect for Broderick Jones. And it's never going to be perfectly perfect. However, we can't be out on Broderick Jones yet. You know what I mean? Like, we can't just like start slandering him. We can't just like, oh, he's ass and like we need to get another left tackle. Like it's not there yet. And Broderick Jones, last year there was a lot of great moments, especially in the run game. This guy he's a beast in the run game, right? We all know that. And so kind of piggybacking off of that, we're doubling down this year. So I have Steelers O-line will be top 5 at least, and Broderick will be good. I kind of wanted to like add on to that. And Broderick will be good. Our next one that we got up here. Let me get this picture up. First of all, listen, man. I don't mean to spread. Like, I googled Najee Harris and Jaylen Warren, and this was the first picture that popped up. I swear to God. And if you guys don't know, this is a thumbnail out of me. I'm gonna move my webcam around. This was a thumbnail out of me, and I love this thumbnail. I absolutely love this thumbnail. Because I just think it's clean, right? And at the same time, too, I am pushing a narrative with this thumbnail, man. If you guys have been subscribed for a while, you guys know I love Jaylen Warren. I also love Naj, but I really like Jaylen Warren, right? And so I'm trying to be like, hey, look at Naj, the first round pick, like he's doing this, and Jaylen Warren, literally 7 rounds later, undrafted, is doing kind of the same thing, if not, but you know what I'm saying? I was being nasty. I was spreading the narrative. It's whatever. Cool. Okay. You got me. I got caught. Cool. I like this thumbnail though, so that's why I'm using this picture. But anywho, the main gist of this: Najee Harris and Jaylen Warren. Naj and Jaylen Warren will both have 1K yards this season. I don't know if I spelled season wrong, but yes, Najee Harris and Jaylen Warren will both rush for 1,000 yards this season. Why do I believe that? Because we look at our offense, we look at our offensive line, we look at our wide receiver situation, we look at our quarterback situation, and we're sitting here begging every single day for Brandon Ayuk, man. We're sitting here begging every single day for Devontae Adams. We're sitting here begging every single day for DeAndre Hopkins. Who's the guy? Cortland Sutton. Cam Sutton. We were begging for him. We got Cam Sutton back. Big interception out of Cam Sutton, man. His last game that he'll play for a while, but he got an interception, man. But yeah, we've been begging for a wide receiver. The fans think we needed. The team maybe thinks we need one. And so at the same time, too, we've invested so much in the offensive line. At the same time, too, we have running backs out the ass. At the same time, too, Russell Wilson, big game manager, big handed off to Marshawn Lynch, except for the time at the goal line. This is a guy who likes handing the ball off. We're a team that loves to run the football. We're a team that's invested heavily in the offensive line in order to run the football. Najee Harris and Jaylen Warren both are phenomenal talent. These guys are 2 of the most underrated running backs in the NFL, especially low-key. I'm gonna get my takes off. Let me know what you guys think in this creator space, in this time and age in 2024. I couldn't say this in 2023, but in 2024 I can say this. Najee Harris might be more underrated than Jaylen Warren, man, at this point, because a lot of people are starting to catch on to Jaylen Warren. I'm hearing like the Stephen A. Smiths of the world talk about Jaylen Warren, and that's just something I didn't see. I mean, I did see it coming, but I just remember when it was just me, man. I remember when I was like the only one being like, yo, we got to put Jaylen in for some more snaps. And now he's like a guy who's being talked about a lot, Jaylen is, right? And at the same time, too, Najee Harris is being talked about a lot, but it's in like a negative connotation, right? It's in like is he going to get a contract extension? Does he deserve it? Like when we start talking about contract extensions, these media pundits, they just start throwing players under the bus. It's crazy. We start pulling up like how Najee Harris can't get over like 5 yards a carry or some shit like that. We start pulling out these crazy stats when it's time to talk about it. Like it's just a little nuts, right? Especially once again, Najee Harris specifically, when we know the guy has done nothing but his best. We know he's been given a pretty shitty situation. When the same Broderick Jones takes, he's had a worse line than Broderick Jones. He's had a worse offense than Broderick Jones has seen. He's had worse coordinators, worse quarterbacks. You know what I mean? Najee Harris has dealt with a lot in his time here in Pittsburgh. And so with all of that said, I believe like he's become the more underrated guy, given how good he actually is and given where his talent level is. I believe Najee Harris now is the guy that's like overlooked. And Jaylen Warren, I don't want to say under. Did I say Naj was overlooked? I meant underlooked. You know what I mean? Like underlooked and good in terms of talent. And then Jaylen Warren, I believe like everyone is so high on him that it switched. You know, it went from everybody loves Naj and like now everybody loves Jaylen. You know, and so I'm excited to see Najee Harris like really come out and eat. Especially too, we talk about it. Najee Harris, we didn't pick up his 5th-year option, man. This guy is in a contract year. What do we know about contract years and players? They end up having like an extra 300 stats, you know, and they have an extra 300 yards in stats. maybe another touchdown or two, maybe some more receptions. You know what I mean? Like once that contract is up, once they're playing for it, all of a sudden these guys just turn into monsters. And so Najee Harris has been a monster this whole time. Now we got this contract thing on the horizon. Now we have a new offensive line. Now we have a system in which we're gonna need Najee to really eat. We're gonna need the running game to really be a thing. Najee is going to get, he hasn't not had 1,000 yards before. Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season. Najee Harris has never not had 1,000 yards. So he's going to get it. Jaylen Warren, he is hurt. Like he's dealing with some injuries. We'll see how fast he comes back. That could affect this prediction. But barring injury, because, all relying on health, I believe they both can run for 1,000 yards. And I believe Jaylen Warren can run for 1,000 yards just himself, No 1-2 punch, no duo. And in fact, if there wasn't a duo, I'd say Jaylen Warren is going to get 2,000 yards this season. You know what I'm saying? But that is I don't know how bold of a take that is. I don't know if I'm really living on the edge with saying that. But yeah, I believe that they both can get 1,000 yards. And I believe Najee Harris. I don't know. Should I put this on here? Najee Harris will get a big/decent contract with, do I want to sit with, I'm going to put with a team, because it could be us. It very well could be us. I don't want to get, I spelled Najee wrong. It very well could be us. That is not how you spell Najee Harris, I say. It very well could be us, but I think it could be another team too. This is a guy who hasn't really had injuries like that. He's a hard runner now. Now that he's slimmed down, he's lost the weight. You see the cuts he's making. You know what I'm saying? This guy is in the prime of his career. We've seen a guy like James Conner who, is a completely different situation, and he's someone who's dealt with injuries. But if you can just consistently play, if you can just continuously get better, and it's all about too when your contract year is. James Conner, his contract year with us, he was kind of hurt. The same year we drafted Najee, the next offseason we drafted Najee because we got rid of James Conner. He ends up going to Arizona, plays pretty well there. Played, last season was really, really well. I believe James Conner is better than Saquon Barkley today. Let me get a gunshot for that. That's just a Pitt thing though. You know what I'm saying? I'm a hater, but. Around the time James Conner had to get another deal, he had, pretty much a career year again, gets that second contract on the Cardinals, and here we are now. You know what I mean? It's all about when you're playing good and when your contract is up, especially for running backs, because we know they hate re-signing running backs. So if Najee Harris can have a big year this year and we decide to go a different way, we don't want to pay him, I believe another team will pay him, and I believe it'll be a good deal. And at the same time, I don't want, like I said, I really don't want to see Najee go. But, if he can go to a better situation than what we've been able to put out for him, then I would love to see that. I would love to see all of the Steelers succeed. I'm not oh, sorry, I had to burp. I'm not a hater in terms of if they go to a different team and then they win, I'm just not oh, fuck you. You know what I mean? Including, this limited, included but not limited to, when Mike Hilton went to the Bengals and they were on that Super Bowl run, as sorry as it was to see, as sad as it was to see the fucking Bengals going on a Super Bowl run, Mike Hilton was playing like a dog in those playoff games, man. And I was incredibly proud of Mike Hilton, seeing him out there putting his name on the map, because we all remember him on the Steelers. You know what I mean? The Antonio Browns of the world, who won with the Bucks. I don't really give a fuck about that. Le'Veon, who won with did he win with he won with the Juju. Juju won with the Chiefs. As much as we hate the Chiefs, as much as people hate Juju, I was excited to see Juju win with the Chiefs, I've always been like that. And so if Najee Harris, if he ends up going to a different team, it is what it is. If Jaylen Warren ends up going to a different team, I am going on strike and protesting that. But, it happens. I'll root for them. I hope they'll succeed. But for now, we have them both, and they will both get 1,000 yards this season, man. Next up, this is I got two takes right here. Okay. First is gonna be Van Jefferson will be a real factor for this team. I'm not gonna really dive too deep into this. This is purely off of what I've seen in preseason. Not too much on Van Jefferson, man. Van Jefferson was kind of dogging this preseason. We've seen the throws from Russell Wilson. We've seen the throws from Justin Fields. We've seen the throws from Kyle Allen. We've needed him. He's been there. As so far from what I've seen, if I'm bugging, if there's some plays I've missed, let me know. But from what I've seen, from what I can remember, Van Jefferson has been pretty good. And then you see Corey Trice in the background as well. Maybe a hot take, maybe not a hot take. But Corey Trice will be a factor this season as well. Corey Trice, of course, he missed last season due to injury, and we kind of forgot about him. And I guess Steelers fans kind of forgot about him when talking about players we need to get. Oh, we need better players in the secondary. We need better corners. We need, such and such. And we're kind of forgetting about Corey Trice, who, I guess this isn't the best look because here he is catching the ball. But In coverage, he's not like, I mean, he is kind of locked down, the avatar cornerback, they call him, he is kind of locked down, but it is more about the physicality factor. It's more about he's going to make the tackles that we need to make, because how many guys, Steelers fans, if you guys are really watching, man, if you guys are still here, you guys know, you guys fuck with me, and I fuck with you for still being here on this video. Fam, how many times have the Steelers just absolutely whiffed on tackles? How many times have we wide the fuck open, and then like maybe someone can make a play and it's just like, like they're tackling with their freaking with their crown of their helmet and like they miss. You know what I'm saying? How many times does this shit happen? It's happened numerous times. I hate it, hate it, hate it. It makes our highest paid great defense look just absolutely ass. It gets Mike Tomlin thrown under the bus because he's not disciplining the players enough. Mind you, they're fucking adults, and like, tackling drills for adults, it's a real thing, but like how much can you do? Like how much can you make a 30-year-old really try to tackle? You know what I'm saying? It's much different than like in high school or some shit, or middle school. Like you're trying to teach, like you can really mold and whatnot. Like once they're in the NFL, if they're not going to tackle, if they don't want to tackle, if they don't want to wrap up, you can kind of do it. But for the most part, you're getting a finished product, right? You're getting like a 95% of what they're going to be. And so like if the effort isn't there in the NFL, it's probably not going to be there. You know what I'm saying? And so every time this shit happens, like Mike Tomlin just gets absolutely thrown under the bus and dunked on. Like I bet Mike Tomlin would make a fucking tackle. I bet Mike Tomlin would throw himself out there. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not about Mike Tomlin not having these guys ready. It's about just the effort not being there. And like, maybe he can do things to make sure the effort is always there, maybe. But we don't got to throw him under the bus. And I believe Corey Trice is somebody who can really help with that. He's somebody who can like be a dog for us, like a Peyton Wilson, for example, like someone who can be a dog for us and just stop the plays before they get out of hand. Like we're not going to lock down. We're not going to fucking Legion of Boom this shit. We're not going to steel curtain this shit, even though the steel curtain, I believe, was more about the pass rush, which low key, that's what we are again. But like we can't just be expected to cover these guys for fucking 10 seconds. You know what I mean? Like nobody's asking that. What we're asking for is if there's a catch allowed, if there's a play that's allowed, let's stop it before it turns into 20 yards. Let's stop it before it turns into 30 yards. Let's stop it before it turns into a 40-yard, 3 broken tackle touchdown, and like really all we had to do, it's 3rd and 11, mind you. You know what I'm saying? Like it's 3rd and 11, they're about to punt, we're up like 3 points, like game's in the bag. And then all of a sudden, we forget how to fucking tackle. You know what I'm saying? Like, how many times does that shit happen? I believe Corey Trice is somebody who can put a stop to that. I believe Corey Trice is somebody who can help us go in the right direction with that. And I'm excited to see him, just like I'm excited for big Van Jefferson, man. Not too much on Van Jefferson, although at the same time, a little bit too much on Van Jefferson, because my next picture, my next prediction, ladies and gentlemen, you guys see him. Big Brandon Ayuk, man. Now, I don't want to put in all my chips on Brandon Ayuk, even though I've low-key already predicted him to the Steelers. If you go on my page, it's like Brandon Ayuk is a Steeler, and I have in parentheses, not yet, wink. But like, at the time, I thought we were getting him, just like you thought we were getting Brandon Ayuk, okay? And today, August 25th, we still don't have the guy. He is still not a Steeler. However, the Steelers will trade for Brandon Ayuk, parentheses, or someone else. So, obviously, I just talked about Van Jefferson. Not too much on him. Not too much on Calvin. Not too much on Roman. Not too much on Des Fitzpatrick. Not too much on who else? Scotty Miller. Not too much on George Pickens. Not too much, all these wide. Not too much on Muth. Not too much on Connor Hayward. Not too much on Darnell Washington. Like all of these players I named. All right, players. George Pickens is pretty good, right? Muth is pretty good, right? Van Jefferson is Van Jefferson. It gets a little bleak after that. You know what I'm saying? And so, much like I just said, not too much on Van Jefferson. I think he can be a key piece, just like I think Roman can be a key piece. I think Calvin can be a key piece. But if we want to win to the degree that we want to win, we go out and we get a player like Brandon Ayuk, or we go out and we get a player like, maybe a Cortland Sutton, maybe a DK Metcalf. I don't know. Somebody, though, because we have not just put ourselves out there this much for it to just be nothing. We saw Jahan Dotson just go to I believe he went from Washington to Philadelphia for practically nothing, mind you, practically nothing. And I can't stand when that shit happens, because here we are trying to get Brandon Ayuk. Not to say Jahan Dotson is anywhere close to Brandon Ayuk. They're not even in the same hemisphere. But if we need a weapon, like we could have just got Jahan Dotson. I believe we will be in the mix for either a Brandon Ayuk kind of trade or a trade like that, into where we get another weapon, whether it's at the deadline, maybe it's a little bit into the season. I don't know. I just don't. This situation specifically, Brandon Ayuk, guys, I've tried my best. I just can't figure it out. What I think is happening is two things I think are happening. One, I think we got used for leverage, just like we always get used for leverage. A la, who was that Patriots player? It wasn't Quan Alexander. It was somebody. There was somebody on the Patriots who were trying to get, and like they were gonna pull up, and then all of a sudden, like we offered them a deal, and that made New England up their price, and it's like, oh, I was never leaving New England. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that happened to us with the 49ers, but also too, the 49ers are literally holding this guy hostage, man. I get it, you know, the 50 pluses, the 60 pluses, the 70 pluses, the 80 pluses, the 90 pluses, the 100 pluses. Yeah, I've heard it all before, you guys. I'm already putting my head down. I know if a player is still under contract, then like he should be expected to live out that contract. We know that. But if the said player has expressed interest in a new contract and there is a team who is willing to give him a new contract, and at the same time, we are giving you draft assets to trade for the player, and we are going to give him the new contract, and the team that has to trade him won't give him the deal. They won't give him the deal that he wants. But here is a team that will give him the deal that he wants, and we're trading for you. What the fuck is the holdup? You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit is pissing me off, and like it's gonna remake me mad again because it's just so frustrating that the 49ers just won't let him go. You know what I'm saying? But they also at the same time too, they've given him a deal. I mean, you know, maybe he doesn't want to accept it, but like, fam, let him go, bro. Like he doesn't. Maybe he wants to still be there. At this point, I feel like it's a little weird to still want to be there. Like after all that's been coming out, and two, you know, maybe he showed like character things that we wouldn't want on the Steelers and all this and all that. At this point, I'm dying with the take to be right, guys. Like I hope you can see, I'm dying with the take to be right because I want to be right and I want Brandon Ayuk. And the 49ers, they're literally holding this guy hostage. Like, it's baffling to me. And, like, nobody's talking. No, it's just okay that the 49ers are literally like, we're not going to give you the deal and we're not going to trade you. Like, then what? Then, like, what are we going to do then? Like, I'm frustrated for IU because, like, what are we going to do if you won't give me the deal I want and you won't trade me? Like, and I just got to live. And he, you know, he's under contract. He has to play out this season if he so chooses. If not, he's going to get fined out the ass. And he probably will end up playing because of the fines. But yeah, I just don't get it. And I've spent way too much energy on this. We all know how I feel. We all know I want Brandon Ayuk. San Francisco, let the guy go, please, please and thank you. So did I write that down? Brandon, the Steelers. Okay, I did write it down. Next, we got big Russell Wilson and we got big Justin Fields. However, this take is only about Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson will play this whole season. Injuries not counting. So if Russell Wilson does not get hurt this season, I do not believe there will be a single point in this year where Justin Fields comes into play. Maybe that's not a hot take. Maybe it's just like, no shit, duh, like all this and all that. But I feel like a lot of people are thinking that like by week 4 or 5, Russ is going to be so ass that like we're going to put in Justin Fields. I fought the Russell Wilson haters over and over and over again. I maybe turned myself into a Russell Wilson hater when Justin Fields was like playing for a little bit, right? But I'm back to where I was before. Like there is no doubt in my mind that Russell Wilson can't just be good enough for one last season with the pieces we have on offense, with the running game we have, with the defense we have. I think it's damn near impossible for Russell Wilson to mess this up, man. I'm not going to lie. Maybe that's like very dumb of me given the situation that happened in Denver. But need I remind you guys, like, you know, what are we now? We're 23 minutes into this one. If you guys are still here, you really like this video, or you know what I'm saying? You're doing some shit and I am on in the background. Like, good luck with the dishes, man. I got you. You know what? I be watching YouTube doing the dishes all the time and shit, you know? So I get it, right? But if you guys are still here rocking with me, we are not the Denver Broncos whatsoever, man. We are nowhere close to Denver. Denver Broncos, you know, they had the Peyton Manning run. They had the John Elway run. They had the Tim Tebow year. You guys got us. I get it. You know, I'll never forget that. But other than that, they're ass. The Broncos are ass. They've had 4 new owners. They've had 5 new coaches. They've had this. They've had that. They have like literally done a kerfuffle since the year, 20? Whatever you want to count it. 2020, they've had 2 new coaches. 2019, they've had 3. 2018, they've had 4. You know what I'm saying? We can just keep going back, and like this team is just the opposite of stability. You know what I mean? Like they are the opposite of what the Steelers are, right? And player, like we can just talk player for player. Like I believe we are a better team than the Broncos this year. I believe we were a better team than them last year. And that's with Kenny Pickett and Mason Rudolph. Like we are just better than them, okay? And so you put Russell Wilson in this situation where like things are going to look better. And I believe he played better than what people gave him credit for last year. I've said that before. I believe he played better than what people say he did. And then even in Seattle, like as that was falling apart, we're better than where Seattle was at that point too. And Russell Wilson was able to kind of win a little bit with that Seattle team that wasn't all that like we see him now. Russell Wilson, this is just ass. Like they were able to win a little bit, you know what I mean? And so Russell Wilson coming on the Steelers, there was just no doubt in my mind that he is going to play well and that we were going to look like a good team. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just, you know, I can't see it. And if I'm wrong about this, then, you know, sue me. But I have it written down. We're going to save it. Wait, where is it? I have it written down. We're going to save it and we're going to go back to it. But yeah, I just don't know. Like, let me know in the comments if you guys like agree with this, if you disagree with this. But I just don't see it. I really don't. I can't imagine Russell Wilson like throwing pick after pick, or like our offense is, and you know, our offense has been really bad. I won't lie. I've seen our offense be bad for a while, so I can't say I don't see it because I've seen it 100 times. But like, you know, this guy has a Super Bowl championship, man. He has a Subway sponsorship. He's married to Sierra. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just no time for Russell Wilson. And on top of that too, if you get benched for Justin Fields in Pittsburgh, you're done. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is your NFL life. You are done. You maybe can be a backup somewhere, but as far as like guaranteed starter things, where would that happen outside of the New York Giants dumping Daniel Jones? You know what I'm saying? Like, where else would Russell Wilson go and start if he plays like some ass here? No, like nowhere. And at the end, and in the same breath too, he plays like ass, he's done. But if he plays good, he is back up. You know what I'm saying? Like, this guy, before all this shit happened, was looked at as like such an all-timey kind of guy. He was looked at as like a really good quarterback, like maybe top 15 all time. You know what I'm saying? These were the discussions around Russell Wilson. And so all he has to do is play good. And like, all he has to do is play good on the Steelers, a team that hasn't had a losing season ever. You know what I'm saying? A team that like consistently competes, a team that's consistently into it in the thick of things in the later months, like December, January, like November. Like, we are a team that's always in it to play around these months. And Russell Wilson, like the bar, the cause and effect, I can't think of what it's called, but like the stakes, like, it's either your ass and like you're done, or you play decent to me, you hand the fucking ball off at the goal line and we score some touchdowns. All you got to do is that, and you're back up. You're a Steeler. You're a Pittsburgh legend, bro. Like, we don't give a fuck about Seattle. We don't give a fuck about Denver. You just play all right here. We get some success here. Russell Wilson, like, bro, we're retiring 3. Landry Jones, who? You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, this all could happen if Russell Wilson plays good for the Steelers. And so, yeah. I believe that's what's going to happen. Like, I think the guy, Russell Wilson, I think he's going to be a guy. I think he's going to be it. I've had my Justin Fields takes. I like Justin Fields too. And next year, you know, it's big Justin Fields time, man. You know, but for now, I believe Russell Wilson can hold it down for just 1 year. And outside of injuries, I do not believe Justin Fields is going to get in the game. Real life shit right now. I am like recording this video and a fly just popped out on my monitor. And I'm still with it. Like, that shit, like, get me on ESPN, bro, because I could have kept going, but I decided to like let you guys know what's really happening in my life right now. A fly just landed on my monitor. That's annoying as hell. Next, the Steelers. This is a quick one. The Steelers will win the AFC North because it's time for us to win the division again, man. Like, it really is time for us. Like, the Ravens very well could win it. The Bengals, I truly believe the Bengals are falling apart. We will say, you know, I'm going to put that there too. Bengals are falling apart. The Bengals, I'm going to put that there too, just to kind of like, we'll see. If they fucking 15-1, 16-1 Super Bowl, that would be tough. But I believe they're falling apart. Cleveland, like, fucking do it then. You know what I'm saying? Like, win the division. Like, how many times you guys going to not win the division and me just fucking pick you to win the division? You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. The Cleveland winning the division is the same thing as the Steelers finishing last in the AFC North. For the last 5 years, people keep predicting this shit. And for the last 5 years, neither has fucking happened. And so I am not like, why would I say Cleveland is going to win the North when it never happens? It's the same thing as saying the Steelers are going to be last. Like, it's never happened. And so Cleveland, you guys can't win the North. Bengals, I believe you guys are falling apart, so that's why you guys aren't winning the North. And the Ravens, you guys very well could. You very well could. But, you know, sometimes injuries be happening, man. Not to wish it, you know what I'm like? I'm not doing that. But if Lamar Jackson goes down, like, you guys are done. Like, I know that's a crazy thing to say because, like, oh, if TJ Watt goes down, you guys are done. Like, I get it. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, it happens all the time. You guys are a great regular season team, but if Lamar goes down, like, it's over. So, you know, you take all 3 of those teams. Here are the Pittsburgh Steelers. We have a tough schedule, but I believe we are better than what people give us credit for. And we got to play everybody in this division. Ravens, like, 1-1 is very generous because we've 2-0'd y'all a bunch of times. You know what I'm saying? We've 2-0'd the Ravens plenty of times. So, that's what I'm going to say 1-1. We could sweep the Bengals. We could 2-0 the Bengals, or we could 2-0 the Browns. And, like, these are 2 teams in our division. You know what I'm saying? So, if we 1-1, 2-0, 2-0, that's 5 wins right there. You know what I'm saying? That's already 5 wins. And just, maybe it's far-fetched. Maybe I'm, like, what is the word, like thinking positively about it. I don't know, like maybe I'm not being humble enough, but I really think we can win the AFC North. Like I don't think that is the craziest take. I think we have a way higher chance of winning the North than we do of losing the North. You know what I'm saying? Like a way higher chance of that. So with all that said, I believe we will win the AFC North. And my last prediction, I predicted it last year. The Steelers will win a playoff game this season. You know why I'm saying that? Because we've done it all, man. We have rebuilt, we have retooled, we have re-gotten coaches, we have tried everything in our power to get this team over the hump and to get us a playoff win. We've even moved the bar to a playoff win, Mr. Michael Tomlin. You know what I'm saying? Like we have moved the bar down from Super Bowl to, hey, that's not that realistic. Can we win a playoff? Can we start it with a winning playoff game? You know what I mean? Like we've had the winning seasons, which is fantastic. Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season, right? And so that's fantastic. But now we just got to get over the hump. Last year, I predicted we would win a playoff game. A lot of shit happened, right? Like a lot of shit happened, but we were against the Buffalo Bills with Mason Rudolph, and outside of that interception, and Josh Allen started going crazy. Like once Josh Allen went crazy, we were out of it. But for a split second, you know what I'm saying? With a split second, with no safeties, no linebackers, and Mason Rudolph out there on a game that got moved to 3 days later after we were already ready to play on Sunday, a game that was moved 3 days later, we almost had it. You know what I'm saying? Like we were right there for a second. And so this season, barring injury, everything goes right, which, I mean, everything doesn't go right, but if we can we finally get some fucking luck for the Pittsburgh Steelers? Holy shit, man. Like this is crazy. Can we finally get some luck, right? Like assuming, the football gods just throw us a bone just one time, because I've seen bones thrown for many other teams many other times. If we can just get one single bone thrown our way, we can win a playoff game this year. And if we can win one playoff game, you know what I'm saying? Like we just got to get that monkey off our back, man. That's what the monkey off our back. We just got to get that shit off our back, right? There was a situation I was going through. I just, I needed it to happen one time. And once it happened one time, I've been back ever since. I believe the Steelers playoff wins is exactly like this, man. I believe if we just win that one game, we can fuck around and win the Super Bowl. Just like Deontay Johnson. I've mentioned Deontay in every single video, but Deontay Johnson is a fantastic receiver up until he drops that first pass. Once he drops that first pass of the year, he's done. He is liable to drop everything else. But until that happens, like if the drop doesn't happen, this guy, he's a beast. If we just win this playoff game, we will see it's possible. Mike Tomlin will see it's possible. The players will see it's possible. And we will start rattling them off. Like whether it's this year, we win the fucking Super Bowl out of this year, or we win a playoff game, we lose, and the next season we win another playoff. You know what I'm saying? It'll just become easier once we just fucking do it once. And all of our fans, we've been begging for it. We've been pleading for it. We've tried to fire Tomlin over it. We want a playoff game bad. And so, we will see what ends up happening. I really hope we can. I believe our talent is there. I believe the team is there. I believe we can do it. It is just all on the execution. It is all on the football gods. Football gods, please, please get us this win. You know what I'm saying? Let us make it there healthy. Let us make it there fair. Let us make it there and play the game on the same day that it's supposed to be played the whole time. And like it was snowing and we're a running team and not a passing team, and it was snowing and it was going to be perfect for the Steelers. And we had Mason Rudolph and no safety, and we had to move the game still. You know what I'm saying? We had to move. It's whatever. Fuck Buffalo. I hate the Bills. You know what I'm saying? I hate the Bills, man. And the Bills, I'm going to put that there too. I don't know why. I've just caught myself astray. The Bills will not win Super Bowl, or Super Bowl. Bowls, plural is crazy. But yeah, they're not going to win the Super Bowl either. I'm still mad at them over the playoff game last year. If I'm still, or if that's a little bit too frustrated, let me know. But we've been rambling here for 30 minutes. I think I am going to get out of here. I will save this note to my computer, and we will peep it at the end of the season, whether it's at the end of the regular season, at the end and in the middle of the playoffs, or at the end in the Super Bowl, man. When we walk away with that 7th Lombardi, fuck it. Well, why not? Steelers win Super Bowl. I'm gonna put that there too. I'm gonna win that there too. Should I make a thing about? And you know what? Fuck it. One more thing. Zaya and the Steelers will be at. Let's play it safe. I'm gonna say 1,200 subs. 1,200. I'm gonna play 1,200 subs because we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Shout out to the people who have subscribed already, and shout out to the future subscribers, man. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. Once again, thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys enjoy Steelers content and make videos like this all the time, so be sure to hit that subscribe button. Once again, too, thank you for 800 subscribers. If you guys would like to support the channel more, be sure to hit that join button. Anyway, This has been Zaya from Zaya and the Steelers, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.